Hello, good evening and welcome to Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The top stories in the news. Government assures citizens of adequate maize stock despite dry spell. Bank of Zambia raises monetary policy rate to 12.5%. Christian Democratic Party demands to lead UCA in 2026 polls. In international news, UN urges security forces in Senegal to respect and ensure human rights. And in sports news, Zambian footballer KUNDANANJI becomes most expensive women's player. These are more stories coming up shortly after this break.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Now news in detail. Some members of the public have described Valentine's Day as a day to express love and share moments with loved ones. Those spoken to by Camnet News emphasized that the day serves as an opportunity to express affection and reflect on cherished memories with their loved ones. Meanwhile, a florist, Mrs. Wiyun, has reported a thriving business, noting that people are actively purchasing gifts for their significant others. Valentine's Day is celebrated worldwide and falls on the 14th of February. More in this report.
Valentine's Day is an annual festival to celebrate romantic love, friendship, and admiration. Every year on the 14th of February, people celebrate this day by sending messages of love and gifts to partners, family, and friends. A check by Camnet TV around some shopping malls found entry and exit points draped in red decorations, flower and gift stands in commemoration of the day. Some of the people spoken to by this journalist say Valentine's Day is a day to spend quality time with your loved ones and share gifts.
As to me, Valentine, it's a day whereby your sons amshako choba mastenga ko chauti as a party nazi shani makapos vija free time whereby mwebe neche tekebati ni ani monishna umupa nawe nika entertainment for time akwati mwaisenda ko fi out fida fi naze time fi akwati well being mokumanchito mwabako fi ofu mwabako fi pamo fi akashitaka nono akwati mwasangala ko fi.
And Andrew Mubiana says Valentine's is not mainly about gift giving, but also reminiscing about old memories with your loved ones.
To me, it's about spending time with the loved ones, maybe family or the dear ones, as well as also you can do it by the show of giving out gifts if you have, if you don't have. Just spend some quality time with the loved one and have fun together, remember the old days and where you're coming from.
Meanwhile, Mrs. William, a florist, says business has been good despite people complaining about the prices. They are still buying the various gifts on sale.
Well, business has been okay, yeah, fair enough. But many people are buying. They are buying and complaining. Oh, they bought a bag of mini meal. Or they bought 2 bags of mini meal in this. But they're still buying, recognizing the loved ones, and it being Valentine's about.
Happy Valentine's. Cherish Siwote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Chifusa Area Ward Councillor Watts Musanje has acknowledged the ongoing efforts of the Acta Maunga Foundation, citing the foundation as a consistent beacon of support for the community. Mr. Musanje says through various donations, the foundation has proven instrumental in enhancing the quality of life for residents, establishing itself as a valuable ally in community development. He said this when the foundation pledged to construct a new church for Chifusa Pilgrim in Kalomo district. Details in this report.
The Chifusa Pilgrim Church in Kalomo District, Southern Province, was filled with gratitude as the Maunga Foundation, led by its founder, Acta Maunga, extended its support to the community. Amidst the echoes of appreciation, the foundation's promise to build a new church has ignited a sense of hope and anticipation among the congregation.
It was like a dream, but now it came to fulfill. So very exciting what happened today from the donation that the foundation has given us.
The additional contribution of bathing soap holds a particular significance as it addresses a challenge faced by the community, highlighting the foundation's key awareness of local needs. Access to such basic amenities is often taken for granted, making the Maunga Foundation's thoughtful donation all the more impactful. The area council, acknowledging the ongoing efforts of the foundation, expressed heartfelt gratitude, citing the Maunga Foundation as a consistent beacon of support for the community.
Even this foundation is trying to get to drill balls within my ward, meaning the workload has been lessened slightly. Because in the places where I think probably I have to plant a borehole, then foundation comes to drill the borehole, meaning I have to shift that borehole to another village. Now what I'm trying to advise to the community is that let's take this as a proper donation, as a genuine donation that will work not only in Chifusa ward, but it will spread to some other wards in the whole constituency of Kalomo.
As the foundation's contribution continued to ripple through the Chifusa community, the promise of a new church stands as a symbol of enduring solidarity, highlighting the foundation's mission to uplift and empower communities.
To look at the challenges of the church building. So we have, together with the community, we have decided that we should start the project of building a big church because the church is quite small. The number of attendants have increased. So as the foundation, we have donated 100 roofing sheets. We have also donated 100 bags of cement. We have also we have donated also the money to do the architect plan so that the works can start.
Miriam Kaemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Residents of Chilesha Ward of Kalomo District in Southern Province have appealed to the government to address their road construction concerns. In an interview, one of the residents, Morgan Mala, expressed fear that they will be cut off from the main town due to dangerous bridge that may be washed away in heavy rains. The residents are now appealing to the government for immediate action to address their critical need for a bridge. Miriam Kayemba has more in the following report.
In a heartfelt plea, villagers in Chilesha Ward, Kaloma District, Southern Province, are sounding the alarm over the state of their current bridge. Their worry is not only about the bridge stability, but the impending danger of being cut off from the main town, especially during the heavy rains that would potentially wash away the existing structure.
Tunaenda na MAIZE bridge, so nimobwache nakambwili nakaspedi faka vije vimyala pambali so that manzi olobama motoka wasipitako bwino, so ndiye nchita amene nine nayo so tufunako batutandizeko tulungisira ka bridge challenge amene tupeza kuno kulibe machiti bamene batutandiza ma bridge aso amba kuonongeka ni kudala tumavutika olobana ba school bakaenda ku school bamavutika kwenda ku school kupela kutumimana ya zula ma bridge mwaona mamene alili so tuvutika maningi kuno kuntu kuno mututandize government mwoni mavuta amene tuli nao.
The residents are not stopping at the bridge alone. Their appeal extends to the construction of roads, highlighting the interconnected nature of those infrastructural challenges affect their daily lives.
Wakamboni kamba chichirungamoro bakapita pasi vayimirira noyimirira sivaona tikuli muntu apa vachachi na magirazi omwamba shoti vaenda vakachoka kufamu yawo na chanu kansela watu kulibe abwera chi apiti akamba vantati uja nimufosera ndarama balisani pasandrama nimpafu chivanga wamesenzera apa so kulibe nchini ni mahala hapa muntu aliyenza akafuna mumuchani yake azani pasahili yonse tu kwacha wani kwacha fefu cha mamene so chapi
mapenzi ngotu jana mutesha wati tubura batugwahirira kubamba rodi yesu iri nyongene kurumba woti this year hunatia wa mulimbo yakawidi last year otherwise rodi nyako soka agati nibareka winda bamamota.
Efforts to get a response from the area member of parliament by broadcast time proved futile. For now, the residents of Chilesha Ward remain on edge, hoping that their plea for a bridge and improved roads will be swiftly addressed by the authorities. Miriam Kayemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Government has advised citizens not to panic amid a dry spell in some regions as the country has enough maize in storage. In an interview, Agriculture Minister Ruben Mtolo says the unaffected areas alone have the capacity to sustain Zambia's population of 20 million, emphasizing the need for farmers to manage their produce responsibly. Mr. Piri has also disclosed that government has temporarily halted maize exports pending a comprehensive stock assessment scheduled for March. More in the following report.
Agriculture Minister Ruben Mtolo says the country has enough maize stock in reserve and has urged Zambians not to panic amidst the dry spells being experienced in some parts of the country. Speaking during the handover ceremony of equipment from Musika Development Initiative, Agriculture Minister Ruben Mtolo says the 4 parts that are not affected are able to feed the 20 million Zambians. Mr. Mtolo also reveals that government has since suspended all exportations of maize.
As at now, I would like to inform Zambians not to panic in terms of stock position, because the agency has some stock, the private sector has some stock. Come March, we're going to start getting our early maize, and definitely come the time when the rain-fed maize is dry, we'll aggregate and see how much stock we'll have. To slow down the issue of trying to export the maize is to first of all hold the maize in our storage facilities so that we see what crop we'll have coming from the rain-fed maize, especially in the parts of the country where we are having good rain.
Meanwhile, Swedish ambassador to Zambia, Johan Hallenborg, says it is a pleasure to contribute to the establishment of Lima Radio, as mass media plays a huge role in the dissemination of agriculture technologies. He says Sweden will continue to strengthen the relationship with the Zambian government in various ways.
Sweden is therefore proud to contribute to the government's efforts in improving agriculture and livestock production here in Zambia. Through our partner organization Musica, Sweden provided technical equipment to the amount of $140,000 for the establishment of Lima Radio. I am convinced that this investment in Lima Radio, an interactive media platform, will facilitate effective delivery of extension services to smallholder farmers on production, agribusiness, risk reduction, and post-harvest management.
And National Agriculture Information Services has promised to utilize the donated items efficiently.
I wish to assure you, Mr. Ambassador, that MAIZE will utilize Lima Radio to contribute significantly to the promotion of an efficient, competitive and sustainable agricultural sector that guarantees food security, increased income and improved livelihoods for the majority of our people who live in the rural areas.
Among the equipment donated are 15 computers which have been given to district agricultural information officers to facilitate data collection and processing, recorders, and a Lima radio station motor vehicle. Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Governance activist and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has called upon Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa to provide clarification regarding his recent statement. Mr. Mianda emphasized the need for the chief government spokesperson to elaborate on his revelation that the United Party for National Development, UPND, collaborated with Mr. Chishimba Kambwili, a member of the Patriotic Front, to undermine the former president, Edgar Lungu. Mr. Mianda says the remarks have raised important questions requiring the chief government spokesperson to address and clarify the situation. Details in the following report.
I can now begin to disclose that we worked well with Mr. Chishimba Kambwili to bring down Edgar Lungu.
Debates have continued over what the minister meant in this statement. This was during a media briefing on Monday, February 12, 2024. Governance activist and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has urged Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa to clarify what he meant when he said he worked well with Chishimba Kambwili to bring down former President Edgar Lungu and his party.
That alone is not settling well with the UPND government, because it's like even the issue of arresting, the issue of actually sending Dr. Chishimba to jail is not fair. People feel the Honorable Minister should also face the wrath of the law. Now, that alone, I think, needs some kind of clarification. The Minister should come out clearly to actually explain what he really meant by saying they worked well with Dr. Chishimba Kambwili.
That aside, an audio alleged to be a private phone conversation between Information Minister Cornelius Mwetwa and a journalist was aired on a local TV station and circulated on social media, sparking debates among members of the public.
This statement which is circulating to say, I have said that Chishimba Kambwili were working together and he was going to issue tribal remarks. No. The point I was making there was this one, which should not even be news, I believe, in any serious media outfit. The point I was making is that we worked with Chishimba Kambwili to bring down PF, full stop. Oh. Then he went on to issue tribal remarks, knowing that his candidate will be hated by the people.
However, this has displeased the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND. Party Deputy Media Director Shero Katambo has demanded that both the Zambia Police and the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA, conduct investigations to ascertain whether the media house and its employee are not in violation of the Cyber Security and Cyber Crimes Act No. 2 of 2021 and the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA Act No. 17 of 2002. Mr. Katambo believes that the minister, who is also chief government spokesperson, still enjoys the right to association and that his rights must be respected.
As a UPND, we are saying, can the Zambia Police Service and indeed IBA investigate whether the media house and its employee did not abrogate some provisions of the law. We've cited the Cyber Security Act, which we feel was abrogated, because it is very specific on what happens when somebody, without permission, gives audience to another person, which we feel should not have been the case. The IBA Act also is very specific in the protection of people's rights, human rights and dignity.
Mr. Katambo further says the United Party for National Development, UPND, will protect and defend its officials at party and government level that are becoming targets of malicious media campaigns with intent to destroy their reputation. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Opposition Patriotic Front faction Vice President Given Lubinda has called for the resignation of Republican President Hakainde Hichilema, citing perceived incompetence in governance. Speaking shortly after his court appearance at the Lusaka Magistrates Court, Mr. Lubinda underscored that the recent formation of the United Kwacha Alliance should serve as a warning to the current administration, urging them not to underestimate its significance. More in this report.
While the country is still attempting to understand the remarks made by government spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa and subsequent surfacing of an alleged phone call recording, Opposition Patriotic Front faction Vice President Given Lubinda says President Hakainde Hichilema should resign and dissolve parliament on allegations that he has failed to run the country. Mr. Lubinda alleges that President Hichilema has failed to fulfill his promises to the people, hence calling for his resignation so that the country can have fresh elections. The opposition Vice President, however, indicates that the alleged misconception that former President Edgar Lungu is taking over as presidential candidate for the PF or the United Kwacha Alliance is unfounded.
And we are calling for Hakainde Hichilema to resign now. We don't want Zambians to continue to suffer under his misrule until 2026. No, he must do the honorable thing that anyone does. If you make a promise to people and you don't fulfill it, you at least kneel down and apologize and say, sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry, I duped you. Sorry, I lied to you. And you can't just apologize without showing recompense. You must go and create a new paradigm. And for Hakainde, who has failed the Zambian people on all the promises he made, it's the right time for him to resign and for him to dissolve parliament so that
Speaking after the court adjourned the matter, he is facing 4 counts of possessing property reasonably suspected of being proceeds of crime. Mr. Lubinda warned those underestimating the formation of the UKA alliance.
The UKA is here to stay. But the question you asked me about how sure am I that President Edgar Lungu will be the candidate, I've never ever said, nor he himself has ever said, that he's going to be presidential candidate in 2026. Not for the PF, not for the UKA. This period we have between now and 2026 is a period for us to go to the Zambian people and ask them, Zambians, who amongst these leaders would you like to lead this country? The person who shall be supported by the majority is the one that...
The government is yet to comment on the matter. Earlier, before Lusaka Magistrate Stanford Ngobola, Mr. Lubinda testified that particulars in count 1 to count 4 were incorrect because he did not possess properties at the day of his arrest. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, the Christian Democratic Party has threatened to pull out of the newly formed United Kwacha Alliance if its party president is not made a 2026 candidate for the pact. Speaking in an interview, CDP Party Secretary General Komasi Mukuka says Dr. Danipole has vested experience having served in different capacities in government. Mr. Mukuka adds that Dr. Pole has never participated in elections owing to his support for President Edgar Lungu's Patriotic Front and hopes that this time all alliance members, including the former head of state, will back him for the leadership of the pact. He has further questioned the registration of UKA as a pressure group, contending that it could have been registered as a political party to accommodate Mr. Lungu and his members who seemingly are without a party, as well as to participate in the 2026 general elections.
It is a take or leave it for the Christian Democratic Party, CDP as it vows to only stay in the newly formed United Kwacha Alliance when it is given the driving seat. After missing on the day of the announcement of the alliance, CDP President Danny Pule availed himself during the unveiling of the park's name on Sunday. In an interview with Camnet News, CDP General Secretary Cosmas Mukuka, however, says the party will only be part of the alliance if its leader, Dr. Pule, is appointed president.
Would like to urge our alliance partners in the United Kwacha Alliance to rally behind the leadership of Dr. Daniel Pule to lead the Kwacha Alliance ahead of the 2026 general elections.
Mr. Mukuka says Dr. Pule is an experienced politician who has served in government in different portfolios.
President Danny Pule took the case of eligibility for the former president to the Constitutional Court to seek the court's interpretation whether he was eligible. It was based on the Constitutional Court ruling that the former president was able to stand as a candidate in the last election. So that is great support from a colleague.
Without doubt, it is a big ask which may precede drama, and only time will tell given the different ambitions of other members of the UKA. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The Monetary Policy Committee has raised the monetary policy rate by 150 basis points to 12.5%. Bank of Zambia Governor Danny Kalyalia says the upward adjustment is aimed at steering inflation towards the target band of 6 to 8% in 2024. Speaking during the Monetary Policy Committee briefing in Lusaka Wednesday afternoon, Dr. Kalyalia said the economy is under severe stress and the measure is aimed at arresting inflation, which is detrimental to economic growth. More in the following report.
The economy is overheating. It needs to be cooled down. Bank of Zambia boss Governor Danny Kalyalia assented Wednesday as he announced the upward adjustment of the monetary policy rate, MPR, from 11% to 12.5%. Whilst admitting the move will cause further pain on citizens as it tightens liquidity in the economy, Dr. Kalyalia stressed that the move is aimed at addressing inflation, which is projecting further away from the target band of 6 to 8% in 2024.
Decided to increase the policy rate by 150 basis points to 12.5%. The decision was informed by a number of factors, but the key ones were that inflation is increasing.
Speaking during the Monetary Policy Committee briefing in Lusaka, Dr. Kalyalia called on all stakeholders to do their part in reviving the economy.
But what we really want to stress is that, notwithstanding the challenges that we face currently, when we look over the horizon to the medium and long term, the prospects for our country are very strong.
Solving these problems at an overall system level of government requires different actors to do their part as well. And so, as the voice said, we will take action, we will look at the results, we will continue to look at the evidence, and then we'll take appropriate action until we achieve the objective we want to. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the bank has disclosed that gold reserves stand at about $150 million following an addition.
So during the period, we bought an additional $43.2 million worth of gold, which has brought our holdings of that particular asset to $150.5 million.
Reacting to the upward adjustment in monetary policy rate, economist Kelvin Chisanga has expressed fears of increased cost of doing business and reduced production in the country.
Even when you look at the market pattern today, obviously, on one hand, I would say this is going to destroy what we have actually been doing, because if you look at the current market patterns, it does not warrant for us to be going upwards. Despite having an expansionary budget landing this year, the monetary authority on the side.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
We'll go for a break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha, from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Former University of Zambia Student Union President Chandra Chongo informed the Lusaka Magistrate Court that the Student Union elections for 2023 were halted due to financial constraints. The state witness told Magistrate Trevor Kasanda during his cross-examination that the student union had allocated a budget of 600,000 kwacha for the elections, which was part of the overall union budget of 700,000 kwacha. The witness was testifying in a matter where Opposition Socialist Party National Youth Secretary Gabriel Banda faces one count of inciting violence in the University of Zambia riot in September 2023, resulting in significant damage. More in this report.
Former president of the University of Zambia Student Union, Chandra Jongo, has disclosed that the student union elections were paused due to lack of funds despite budgeting for them, but later students rioted due to misinformation that the elections were cancelled when in fact postponed. During cross-examination before Lusaka Magistrate Trevor Kasanda, the former Onzasu president explains that 700,000 kwacha was the total budget for the operation of the student union in 2023, of which 600,000 kwacha was meant for the student union election. He explains that due to priority constraints, the student elections were paused and authority was sought from the Dean of Students, Mr. John Munkombwe, to pave way for other necessary projects, which meant utilizing the funds meant for the elections, a situation which was misinterpreted by the students for a cancellation and subsequent leading to the riot on 18 September 2023. However, when questioned by defense lawyer Boniface Chiwala if the witness is aware that all aspirants for the 2023 student elections were suspended, the state witness responded that a number of them were suspended for being part of the riot and inciting, but failed to mention the names of the aspirants on grounds that the rioters were masked. Counsel Chiwala further questioned the state witness if it was wrong for the student to scream the name of the accused when he went to campus. The witness said it was wrong in the absence of authority from the Dean of Students, but it was not wrong for the students to scream his name when he went to campus. The state witness also disclosed when asked that on the video yet to be produced in court after the accused spoke to the students, they did not start rioting. Gabriel Banda, 33, was arrested on 28 September 2023, later released on a 50,000 kwacha bail, and faces one count of inciting violence or breaches of law of assemblies contrary to Section 91, subsection A, B and C of the Penal Code in relation to the Unza riot that took place in September 2023 and left a trail of destruction. Magistrate Trevor Kasanda adjourned the matter to 13 March for mention, 27th and 28th March 2024 for continued trial. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The government has urged ZESCO, the nation's power utility company, to persist in prioritizing power generation initiatives aimed at bolstering the country's energy capacity. Minister of Energy Peter Kapala underscores the importance of leveraging power from existing private generation sources to efficiently handle power distribution, particularly in light of hydrological challenges. He said this in a speech read on his behalf by Permanent Secretary Peter Mumba during the signing ceremony for the Lusaka Transmission and Distribution Rehabilitation Project, valued at 7 million euros and anticipated to provide benefits to approximately 63,000 households. More in this report.
Government has urged the country's power utility company, ZESCO, to continue focusing on power generation projects that will enhance the country's power capacity. Minister of Energy Peter Kapala says this includes utilizing the power from existing private generation sources to manage power distribution effectively, especially amid hydrological challenges. He said this in a speech read on his behalf by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry Peter Mumba during a signing ceremony for Lusaka Transmission and Distribution Rehabilitation Project worth 7 million euros between ZESCO Limited and the European Union.
We urge ZESCO to continue focusing on power generation projects to enhance our country's power capacity. This includes utilizing power from existing private generation sources to manage power distribution effectively, especially amid hydrological challenges. The government is dedicated to providing a conducive environment for the corporation to thrive and effectively execute its mandate.
ZESCO Limited and the EU explain what the project means, especially in attaining equality and reducing poverty levels in high-density areas in Lusaka.
It is equally important, especially for those in economically disadvantaged areas. The additional grant is not just about connecting poles wires and cables. It's about connecting people to opportunities. It's about ensuring that the benefits of our enhanced electricity infrastructure are equitably distributed, reaching even the most underserved communities. This subsidy will facilitate the safe and reliable connection of electricity to about 63,000 households and businesses.
Estimated 300,000 people will benefit directly from this grant. The improved access to electricity services will ensure better living conditions, the families will spend less time preparing meals, and the safer cooking will result into better health. Eventually, the time saved can be used to engage in other activities and develop other employment opportunities. The little children will also be able to do their homework in the evening with less challenges, and the communities will be safer when it is done.
Meanwhile, Lusaka Mayor Chilando Chitangala expressed gratitude on behalf of her people, and the 63,000 would be beneficiaries.
This project will connect 63,000 households to the national grid across 8 townships in the city of Lusaka, and it would detract our people from illegal connections. I'd like to thank you, the European Union, for their continued support, and ZESCO for implementing this project. The project is not only empowering the nation, but it's also empowering our people in community. It's not only empowering the nation, I should say, but it's also empowering the people in our communities, which is very important for civic leaders as myself. On behalf of the people of Lusaka, I would like to thank the EU, ZESCO, and all other stakeholders for this great support in our communities.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Lusaka Home of Merciful Orphanage has appealed to well-wishers to help the establishment with daily necessities. Home coordinator Peter Mwansa says the facility encounters many challenges in handling about 60 children, most of whom have disabilities. He made the remarks Wednesday morning when Eva Grow Business Solutions donated assorted items to the home. Speaking when he handed over the donation, Evergrow Business Solutions Chief Executive Officer John Mahinza says the organization took advantage of the Valentine's Day to show love and share with the less privileged. More in this report.
It's a perfect Valentine's gift for children at the Home of Merciful Orphanage in Lusaka Material. Evergrow Business Solutions has donated assorted items as it spreads the love on February 14. In receiving the donations, Home Coordinator Peter Mwansa has appealed to other well-wishers to emulate the gesture of Evergrow.
Ife kumbali yatu tikamba kuti zikomo pa chikondi chamene mwatilangiza mwatitandizira tayamikira tukacha kuti ntchito amene ili pano iyi si ntchito yopepuka. It takes the heart of a person kuti ati asunge bana. So ngatulibe uja mtima, it's only a single day watawamu wachokama. So kuli mwamine mti supporta yai ife titokoza tiza kutati siku siriza komandie kuyamba. So mtawi na ntawi mkatikumbukira mwabwela mwationako doya tu ili open kuli alienso amene abwela mkutitandizira.
In his speech, Evergrow Chief Executive Officer John Mahinza said the company opted to share and show love to the children at their facility as the world commemorates Valentine's Day.
We, as Evergrow Business Solution, we are humbled to support this amazing orphanage here in Irilanda. Our donation went for a value of 10,000, maybe very small, but it's just a gesture of our support, of their to their well-being and their love.
Prudence Chibwe, reporting for Camnet TV in Lusaka.
Education authorities in Western Province have embarked on a spot check of schools in the region to evaluate how teachers and pupils are settling following a long closure of institutions of learning due to cholera outbreak that hit the country. Western Province Education Officer Peggy Chilema, who was accompanied by his Principal Education Standards Officer Aiden Kambunga and Mongo District Education Board Secretary Ilutombi Lisimbi, said she is pleased with hygiene levels in schools in the district. During a check at Holy Cross Girls Secondary School, school head teacher Bibian Imbao took advantage to appeal to government to expand the school by constructing more classroom blocks using the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Sister Mbao said the school has 4 streams of classes at junior secondary school and 2 streams at senior level, saying it is forced to export about 60 pupils who made it to grade 10 to other schools, which was traumatizing to the pupils. And Kambole Provincial STEM School head teacher Tabo Mubiana told the Provincial Education Officer and her team that the number of pupils that reported for school was overwhelming. Mr. Mubiana said cholera preventive measures have been fully put in place at the school that accommodates both boarding and day scholars. Meanwhile, Miriam Wamunyima, a grade 12 pupil at Katongo Secondary School, has thanked the government for supplying desks to the school and controlling the cholera situation in the country. The team inspected the Holy Cross Girls Secondary School, Kambole Provincial STEM School, Lord's Community School and Katongo Primary and Secondary Schools in Mongo District. You're watching Camnet Television Main News. We'll take our second and final break. We'll have international sports news shortly after the break.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. And now in foreign news, as protests continue in Senegal against President Macky Sall's decision to delay the country's elections to December, there is increasing concern over the behavior of security forces. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights and other human rights organizations have called on the authorities to ensure that they uphold the country's long-held tradition of democracy and respect for human rights. Amid the rising tension and reports of planned further protests, the UN body also urged all actors from resorting to violence. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk calls on the government to ensure that the proposed national dialogue be as broad-based as possible and ensure genuine participation of opposition groups, women, the youth and marginalized groups. Here's a roundup of foreign news for more.
Protests over the weekend in Senegal against President Macky Sall's decision to delay the country's elections to December. There's increasing concern over the behavior of security forces, following reports of the unnecessary and disproportionate use of force against demonstrators and restrictions on civic space.
Amid rising tensions and reports of planned further protests, it's crucial that the authorities unequivocally order the security forces to respect and ensure human rights, including the rights to freedom of expression, association and peaceful assembly. We also urge all actors to refrain from resorting to violence.
The UN Human Rights Chief has urged the Senegalese government to ensure that the proposed national dialogue be as broad-based as possible and include the genuine participation of all opposition and other groups. Captured on film. Dramatic images taken moments after two boats collided on the Congo River near Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo on Monday. Horrified residents watched as various small boats attempted to rescue passengers as the bigger vessel sank beneath the water. With produce and people spread out across the surface, locals tried to fish them out of what is believed to be the world's deepest river. Officials say dozens of people are dead and several others are missing after the boats, loaded with passengers and goods, crashed into one another. It was not immediately clear what caused the accident. Rivers are key to transport in the vast Central African country, which has an extremely poor road infrastructure. Deadly boating accidents occur frequently, as crews on the mostly unregulated small wooden boats often overload the vessels. The town of Marawi in Ethiopia's northern Amhara region. The country's human rights watchdog says at least 45 people were killed here during door-to-door raids by federal security forces in late January. Both the United States and the European Union have called for an investigation into the killings. They come after months of clashes last year between the military and Fano militia, a so-called self-defense organization that draws volunteers from the local population. While the federal government has not commented on the latest killings, the fighting last year prompted it to impose a state of emergency in the region. The Amhara violence is Ethiopia's most serious crisis since the end of fighting in the neighboring region of Tigray in 2022. Fano had been an ally of federal troops in that war, but began a rebellion against government plans to disarm them.
It is sports news tonight. Only 6 years after making her debut on Team Zambia, footballer Rachel Kundananji has become the world's most expensive women's player. The 23-year-old has signed a deal with Bay FC of the American National Women's Soccer League worth $860,000, pricing her away from Madrid CFF. Kundananji is the first African player, male or female, to break a world transfer with upstaging of the previous female record of £400,000 in a deal between Keira Walsh and Barcelona in 2022. More in this report.
Only 6 years after making her debut on Team Zambia, footballer Rachel Kundananji has become the world's most expensive women's player. The 23-year-old has signed a deal with Bay FC of the American National Women's Soccer League worth $860,000, prizing her away from Madrid CFF. The player scored 33 Liga F goals in 43 games during her 18 months with Madrid. Kundananji is the first African player, male or female, to break a world transfer, upstaging the previous female record of £400,000 in a deal between Keira Walsh and Barcelona in 2022. The Zambia international will now be playing alongside Nigerian star Azizat Oshola, the 6-time African Women's Footballer of the Year, forming a team that will no doubt be the envy of clubs across the world.
To end Camnet television menus, the top stories once again. Government has assured citizens of adequate maize stock despite dry spell. Bank of Zambia raises monetary policy rate to 12.5%. Christian Democratic Party demands to lead UKA in 2026 polls. In international news, UN urges security forces in Senegal to respect and ensure human rights. And in sports news, Zambian footballer KUNDANANJI becomes most expensive women's player. Our cover verse of the day is coming from the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. We've come to the end of our news. Thank you so much for watching Camnet Television Main News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Good night.